Hello everybody, this is MalavarTCOne, coming at you with the newest Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia JP Best Unit Tier list. Make sure you stick around till the end of the video to know last month's giveaway winner, as well as the upcoming giveaway for this month. As we go through it, keep in mind that before starting, most of the units in DFFOO JP are viable. I would say 99% of them are, especially if they're boosted for the event. This is from both research and my opinion, so please enjoy and share this video with your other DFFOO friends. Starting with the SS rank, at the very top of the list we have Paladin CECIL. Paladin CECIL is pretty great because he has many constant over HP and brave effects. His abilities allow your HP for you and your allies to go over its maximum, and it's constant every turn. He's got great damage mitigation across himself and all allies, which means that the HP damage taken for him and the allies is much lower. He's able to enchant allies with holy damage, which is a pretty good damage type to a lot of different enemies you'll be facing. Next we have SQUALL. SQUALL is so awesome. He has so much damage, tons of damage. I would say, as far as the units or characters that are available right now, he's one of, if not the top damage dealer. Now, that damage is constant from his LD. Every time he uses an attack, whether it's Brave, or HP, or it's any ability type, his LD triggers after it's been used. It is so amazing. His max Brave limits are usually met, even solo. He doesn't really need like a lot of bravery to be given perma battery or some other way. He usually meets his own max Brave, even with his own attacks. Does so much damage. Definitely would want on your team. Next we have Trey. Trey has some pretty cool traps that allow him to damage and suppress enemy attack on your team. One of his skills pretty much almost guarantees a Brave break, his EX. And it's pretty cool because there are a lot of enemies that you'll be facing through events that will just have tons of Brave, or it's going to be hard to knock them down to a break status. And having that ability allows it to happen almost all the time, which is really great. Definitely needed. Some enemies can mitigate it and make it so it doesn't happen, but for the most part, always really good. Abilities will go off from his whether you or your enemy takes turns, so that's really good. The traps will go off whether you're taking a turn or they're taking a turn, pretty much allowing constant damage to the enemy, even if you're up against enemies that take tons of turns. Next we have Cloud. Cloud has a lot of guaranteed knockups. I think it's 7 or 8. Pretty much makes it so you can have a knockup when you need it, where you need it. He has really high paralysis. The paralysis makes it so the turn for the enemy is delayed. They don't get to do anything. Pretty nice. And he has huge burst damage potential. I've seen a lot of burst videos for Cloud's burst. Of all the bursts I've seen so far, I think his can reach the highest. I've seen somebody hit 3 million burst with Cloud. Obviously, you need the right team setup. I think it's like with Quistis and Keys, or there's someone else. And you could have such huge burst with Cloud. It's ridiculous. Next, Noctis. Now, he has a constant high turn count, always bringing himself to the front of the line, interrupting the abilities and turns of the opponent. Pretty much, hey, I'm going to take my turn again, I'm going to take my turn again, I'm going to take my turn again. That's Noctis. He has some knockups depending on if you're doing the pursuit, which is really nice. I would say one of the best things about Noctis, the very best thing about Noctis, is that he can attack after every single attack or ability, whether it's his own or an ally's. After he uses his burst, it's one of the best things in the game. I would say if you're on global, go after Noctis burst. That's probably the highest priority for your burst list right now. For JP, there's a lot of bursts and a lot of things that are coming out that will probably be better or like have better potential, but Noctis, even in JP right now, is super, super awesome and viable. Remember, this is the JP tier list, so he's even good now. Long time in the future. Next, we have Celeste. What's good about Celeste? Well, she absorbs magic and brave damage, pretty much to be able to mitigate all the damage that's coming from magic attack on you or your allies. She gives brave back to your allies after the enemy attacks the party, which is really nice. It's a certain percentage depending what sort of damage comes towards you and your allies, but that damage mitigated and giving the brave back is always key in order to keep your team from being broken or being able to survive for longer periods of time. And she pretty much is a wall without compromising the ally buffs or the damage that comes from you and your allies. Great wall to have on your team, can go with a lot of different team comps. Finally, for the SS rank, we have Theodore. One of the coolest things about Theodore is he recovers HP, adds Brave to your party, an attack, does an attack, has a buff, and another turn, all in one turn from an ability. It's pretty much an all-in-one ability. He has great damage, he reaches his max Brave, has really high max Brave really easily. He can ignore some resistances of enemies as well. Very useful to have on your team. Now, those are all the SS rank. That being said, there are still a lot of characters that are really close to SS, but I've only put in S rank and S plus rank because the game gets so much harder with Lufenia. And that's going to be happening on Global pretty soon. Right now it's in JP, and the game does get harder. So you want to make sure you're using the very best of the very best to get through these, especially if they're boosted. So a lot of the S plus rank and S rank characters will be amazing when they're boosted. Keep that in mind. Let's go into the S rank, and I'm not going to go into these characters, but I will just kind of read them off and say that these are really amazing characters, even if they're not the top cream of the crop right now. Krill, Rude, Onion Knight, Furion, Keese, Ramza, Lightning, Emperor, Warrior of Light, and Jack. Each has their own sets of abilities that can be helpful in their own situations. With Keese, if you're doing an enemy that has lots of knockups or needs a lot of knockups to do damage, Keese is great to have on the team because he adds attack power, pretty much Brave and HP to your allies as an enemy is flying through the air. Really great to have on that sort of team. If you need a lot of resistances, you need a lot of defense, Warrior of Light is always great to have because he gives it to all your teammates. Pretty much mitigates a lot of Brave damage, has a good shield. All of these characters are good for their own situations, especially with bosses that are needed against this type of enemy. Lightning, for example, always bring yourself to the top of the front of the line. She could be good with Noctis, doing a lot of jumps in the front of the line, giving Noctis a lot more of an attack after an ability, stuff like that. Next, we have S rank. Not as many situations, but still very helpful in a lot of the game right now. Ultimecia, Aranea, Exdeath, Y'shtola, Aerith, Gladiolus, Kuja, Penelo, and Dark Knight CECIL. Again, with characters like, for example, Dark Knight CECIL, he takes his own damage where he does an HP damage to himself, consumes his own HP to do damage. Sometimes that's not good in all situations. For another example, Gladiolus is a great defense to be able to take damage for an ally. Not great in every situation, but still really useful to have. Very good S ranks. About all of these characters that I've mentioned so far, whether they're SS rank, S plus rank, S rank, they are the top 10% of the game's characters. They are so good. So don't feel that like if you're using one of these other characters in S plus rank or S rank over an SS rank, you're still doing amazing, especially if you have their full kits and they're fully maxed out. I really hope you enjoyed this tier list. Let's go now a few characters that I would say avoid tier, and I did this last time too. It still gets a little bit of a flack, but just know this is more for the people that are in global right now if they're looking towards the future. These characters were not boosted, were not upgraded, were not given the right capabilities to be able to survive a lot of the events and stuff that is out right now. And I would say even over the past year, I had Cyan on my last Avoid tier. He has not been given due dignity or diligence. Poor Cyan. He's been on the Avoid tier for like over a year. I would say a year, 2 years almost. He's good in very, 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 very specific situations, but overall, these characters are not laughable. They're just not used, and they're not usable in many situations, which they really need some good stuff coming their way. Lion needs an LD, Noelle needs an LD, Cyan needs an LD bad, and Rain and Lan could use an LD or burst. One day I'm sure they'll be good again. But yeah, for the most part, avoid them right now on global because you're not going to need them for a long time. First, let's go into the August giveaway winner, Kay's Windmaster. Congratulations, you won last month's giveaway for a $20 Google Play gift card. Congratulations. Hope you enjoy it. While get in contact with you by reaching out to you on the last video, trying to get in touch with you to get you your winnings. And for this month's giveaway, in order to enter, for September giveaway rules, you just have to like this video, be a subscriber, and comment something you love, and you get a chance to win a $20 Google Play gift card. This is open to pretty much everybody. You just have to like the video, be a subscriber, comment something you love. You could love cake. You could love video games. You could love your family. You could love anything. This is more about positivity than anything. Just trying to bring the world some positivity over how much is going on. Just comment something you love and that you want to just share. That would be awesome. And the winner for this month's giveaway will be announced the first week of October. So you have until the end of September to enter into this giveaway, and then the winner will be announced the first week of October. I hope you guys had a fun time going through this tier list. I haven't done a tier list for DFFOO JP in a long while, so this meant a really good amount to me, and I hope it meant a lot to you in order to see this sort of information, as well as to make your own judgment calls depending on what my research and opinions have given you. Thanks everybody. I'll see you all later.